Wow, I think that just told me we're live. Yeah. Just subscribe and you still got support the NAB Watchdog gameplay.
Ready? I'm gonna do start off and we gotta say your name. I'll park you. You can see me, right?
You got some hurt more time.
Oh no! Why do you create everything?
I didn't, because I've been looking at the screen all the time.
Good day, Urban Gamers, and welcome to a new episode of Four Brothers in the Basement. I am your host, Fox Dorsey. On today's show, we're going to kick off our look into video game genre series. And what are video game genres, you ask? Well, just like music, television, and movies, video games have different genres that categorize them into different categories. For instance, you can have a horror game, you can have a racing game, or you can have a sports game. And so the first genre that we're going to take a look at is first-person shooters. Are you guys surprised? Also, you may notice that once again, I am rolling solo. Not quite so. We changed the format of the show just a little bit. See how you guys like it. So let's bring in Double O Riser. That's not how that box is supposed to look. I can't hear Double O Riser.
I'm not saying anything. I don't know what to do with my hands. We're live. We're live. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, see, people, that's what happens when we go live. Double Riser, what you been playing lately?
Me? I've just finished off Watch Dogs. I'm about to pick up Transistor, the PS4 exclusive, well, supposed to be a PS4 exclusive game, but the PS4 game Transistor. I'm also thinking about picking up Murder Soul Suspect in about a couple of days just to try it out.
Okay. First-person shooters. Sorry, I was rearranging the boxes there. Got a little distracted. First-person shooters have been around for a very long time. First-person shooters are pretty much, I would probably say, the face of the video game industry right now. Whenever you think of video games, the first games that probably come into mind probably has a gun in it. Watch Dogs, Call of Duty, Halo, Bioshock. Those are just some of the games. Let's talk about first-person shooters. There was an article that we posted onto the website. It talked a little bit about the reader's dislike for first-person shooters and how stagnant they've become. He talked about a couple of first-person shooters. So let's just Double Riser. How would you feel? What would you say is the what is the atmosphere with first-person shooters? Like, how do you feel about first-person shooters right now?
First-person shooters, one thing I'm starting to understand about first-person shooters is that there is no change in first-person shooters. Everything else in regards of genre, they've changed over the times. They've changed generation from console generation to console generation. First-person shooters is just the basics. It's everything. Here's me, there's you, I have a gun, you have a gun, shoot before I get killed. End story. That's first-person shooters.
If someone has, if no one has ever played a first-person shooter, there are some people out there who haven't played first-person shooters. What are some first-person shooters that you would probably recommend as far as, it could be one game, it could be a series of games. What's a recommended series that someone should jump into first with a first-person shooter?
Well, if they never played a first-person shooter ever, they probably play games with a lot of gameplay and a lot of story behind it. So one good first-person shooter to just jump right into will be Halo, especially for the Xbox 360, because the Xbox 360 has pretty much the whole Halo series rounded up into a single, just in one single gaming console that you can play. They have the Halo Anniversary, which starts off Halo 1. They have Halo 2, which is an Xbox the first Xbox only game, but can be played on 360. Also, Halo 3 and Halo 4 came out for 360, and that right there is the whole lineup that has all the series. First-person shooter, you learn how to play first with one gun, then you move up to second gun, to tanks and whatnot, banshees and whatnot, and then while you're doing that, you have a great story.
Real quick, what's your favorite game out of the Halo series?
Halo 2 easily.
Oh yeah. I love Halo 2, especially for the multiplayer. We're not going to talk about multiplayer and first-person shooters right now because that's a whole different topic in and of itself. But let's talk about the gameplay of first-person shooters. So just like you said, there's really not much you can really change in a first-person shooter. You have a gun, your enemy has a gun, you shoot them. Straightforward. So how do we go about changing the way that we interact with our first-person shooters?
Well, the way they change first-person shooters, now that they have done it now, is changing it from one view. Instead of being a first-person shooter, they made it a third-person shooter where you can see the whole body of the person and you can see who you're mowing down. Another way to change a first-person shooter is add in other effects. One thing they done was change it from just a ground type assault to a ground and air type assault, where you can become a jet pilot or a fighter plane and take down everybody. And at the same time, if you want to just go from being in the air down to the ground, boom, you got it like that. And of course, the multiple uses for a gun and the multiple gun attributes.
Let's talk about the cover mechanic. I'm not quite sure which game brought the cover mechanic into modern times, but I believe the first game that I really played that had an excellent cover mechanic was Gears of War, where you just, all you have to do is get close to cover, press A, and you duck down. That for me really changed a lot with first-person shooters. It not only gave you more depth as far as strategy-wise, how to take out enemies, it just made the game more realistic, cover mechanic. What do you feel about the cover mechanic, and do you think there's any other mechanics that can be implemented into first-person shooters?
The cover mechanic is something that should have been in first-person shooters from day one.
You would think that. It was like when Gears of War came out, and it was like, you got chainsaws, but you can also cover, and it was like, oh my God, right? And then he can like blind shoot behind cover. That was awesome.
Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. And that's the thing about it. You would think with cover mechanic should have been somewhere in the beginning, back in the Super Nintendo era, just for the simple fact that you're not going to be able to mow everybody down. And when you're almost dead and you're in the middle of nowhere or just in a big gapless room, you're dead. So having a cover mechanic was like, wow, I can slowly not die but still make my way or progress through the game or through whatever room I'm in. The one thing I do dislike is the regeneration of first-person shooters now. That actually
that's funny because that was going to be my next question as far as health-wise. Now, back in the day, let's just compare. Let's say 007, 64. You had to collect health. You had to collect body armor. Once you got hit, you better go find some more body armor. Nowadays, you get hit, you take a couple of bullets to the face, to the arm, you go run and hide behind a car or something, wait like 30 seconds, and you're good to go. How do you feel about the health system? I'm pretty sure you can probably already tell how I feel about it. Because I'm an old school gamer, and I just feel like having to look for help is probably more realistic. And I think right now you only see that type of health system in horror games. So how do you feel about the health mechanics?
How can I explain this in the easiest way possible?
I don't think there is an easy way possible.
You milk the game down to easy mode. The hardest mode is still going to be easy mode because, let's be serious, once again, I can go into a room, if there's a cover right there, I can get riddled by, a good heavy machine gun, get riddled by the bullets, run over somewhere, and hide behind it. that, and then be completely regenerated and be like, yes, I can go right at it. No, back in the day, back in the Super Nintendos, back when there was like a bar that showed your health, and you had to go grab regeneration pots or regeneration
Resident Evil,
right? or the plant, which we're not going to point out.
We're not going to do it. Not on this show. It's a family show.
Yeah, family show. But yeah, you had to go find that stuff. But if you didn't find that stuff or you didn't have that stuff, you were left with whatever health that you could scarcely take over or have.
Hold on to.
Yeah. So it just seems like everything eased up because I guess they're trying to understand that there's no such thing as a really hardcore gamer anymore. There are nothing but casual gamers, and we're the ones who actually started off with, hey, we can go through this, we'll battle it, we'll keep going. Nowadays everything is hustle and bustle. I don't have time to play it. So if I'm constantly dying on the same level, it's not fun to me anymore.
Let's take a look at how do you differentiate between different shooters. With there being so many shooters on the market, I bet you I can name about 10. Let's try to name 10 right now. You got Destiny coming up. You got the new I'm looking at it. Modern Warfare, not Modern Warfare, but Call of Duty Advanced. You got Battlefield Hardline. You got Titanfall that just came out. You got Halo 5 that's on the way out. You got Rainbow Six. Ooh. Where's Counter-Strike? I want to see Counter-Strike. Where's Counter-Strike?
That's a PC game that's never gonna come out on console. And it better.
You got BioShock, Mass Effect, Team Fortress. That's 10 people. How do you differentiate between so many shooters in a saturated market? How do you do it? They all seem the same. What makes them separate each other? And we didn't even talk about Borderlands. Borderlands, that's 11. How do you tell them apart, Double Horizon?
The question is, how do you tell them apart? Everything, it still has the basis of a first-person shooter, but everything, there added benefits to each game. Borderlands had tons of guns, and they had the RPG style, just like Mass Effect. Mass Effect had the first-person shooter and the, not tons of guns, but they had a deep storyline where whatever happened, whatever you did in this part, or if you said yes to this instead of no to this, it changed your story, which is one thing that Mass Effect had. Counter-Strike, that's just a tactical game that needs to be made again.
Yeah.
Just simply put, just needs to be made again. Battlefield is a huge map, tons of weapons, tons of ways to get around, jets, fighter planes, copters, simple jeeps, just to get around, and that's technically a tactical game that Counter-Strike is, but they just been messing up on their own. Thank you, EA, for screwing that up. Call of Duty is just a running gun shooter that you used to have, like a Doom or a Duke Nukem.
Whoa! Did you wait?
Duke Nukem. Wait a second. Oh, Duke Nukem.
No, the Duke Nukem wasn't even the one I was gonna stop you with. Like, how do you did you just classify Doom as a running gun game?
Was it not a running gun game?
No, are you serious? Doom is not a running gun game.
The old Doom.
That's the only Doom I'm talking. If we're talking about Doom 1, 2, and 3, those are not running gun Dooms. What did you have your level set to?
Oh, I had mine on the hardest. But once again,
when
you got that shotgun, oh, you started plowing through that game easily until you ran out of bullets.
Exactly. And then once you ran out of bullets, what do you have left?
The pistol.
Fisticuffs.
The pistols and the fist.
Okay, so the different guns and different first-person shooters, those set them apart, and certain first-person shooters add, like you said, add different elements. So let's talk about genre mixing here. So I know first-person shooters are the first genre we're actually talking about, but there are other genres such as, like you said, RPGs, which really focus on leveling up your character. Now, RPG elements have been making their way into first-person shooters on like a daily game basis. You can't pick up a game where, even in Battlefield and Call of Duty, you have stats, you level up, you gain different guns, you gain different attachments to your guns. those are all RPG elements. How do you feel about not just RPG elements, but different genre elements? Because if you even look at Bioshock adds powers, something you would probably find in an action game. How do you feel about genre mixing?
Genre mixing. I'd say with the genre mixing, they found a great way to mix it without destroying the game or destroying the simplicity of being a first-person shooter. All the difference is with first-person shooter and genre mixing like RPG. Instead of you just dying after 3 bullets, they give you once again the leveling up, the stats, where you're just saying, okay, I'm playing, I'm fighting, I can see how many bullets these are taking. I need to get a better gun, or I need to increase my damage if I have a sword or a sword play. And it brings like the RPG side, like the people who love RPGs. I am one person who just loves RPGs from like till the day I die. But it brings that in while still bringing in the first-person shooter, and it just blends my worlds. It blends the worlds kind of good. Mass Effect was the perfect way to blend the world of RPG and first-person shooter.
But you know what? Let's talk about Mass Effect for a quick second. If you guys out there got a chance to play the first Mass Effect and Mass Effect 3, 2 completely different games. Like when they started off, I feel like the first Mass Effect was more loot collecting. Like you had your guns, but like there were like 12 different variations of one gun, and then so for instance, you have your assault rifles, you have shotguns, snipers, pistols, and SMGs. Those 5 categories, there was probably about 7 different more guns in those categories, and then each of those guns had maybe 12 different guns from level 1 through level 12. And so that was how the first Mass Effect was. And then if you jump forward to Mass Effect 3, you really only carry, you either have, what is it? Now you can only carry 2 or 3 weapons depending upon your weight loadout. And so I forget the point I was trying to make. That's what happens when we shoot live, people.
Well, what the point what you're trying to make is they went from being like Legend of Zelda, where you have like everything in your inventory, from boots to different tunics to
oh my god, and then the armor abilities were just crazy.
Yeah, where you're sitting there like, oh my god, I can't believe he's not showing anything, but still I can whip everything out at the 1 second. To actually being an RPG where you got to understand, I'm not going to be able to carry all this at all because I'm an actual human being, and I'm trying to show you that I'm trying to play in a realistic world. So being able to sit there and say, I have 7 guns on me, but still be able to run up and down and duck, dodge, roll, mind you, out of danger is impossible. If you want to be as realistic as possible, at best 2 guns, a pistol, and a little bit extra ammo and some health, and that's it. So once games started doing that, they were like, wow, this actually makes sense.
Yeah. And you know what? And you brought up another point. I don't even have this on here, but let's talk about inventory. Back in the day, you could carry 50,000 guns. I could carry a rocket launcher, a sniper rifle. Let's just talk about games like Grand Theft Auto. Now we know Grand Theft Auto isn't a shooter, but it does have shooter elements. In Grand Theft Auto, you can carry a multitude of weapons. And if you even go back to 007, you can carry a multitude of weapons. Doom, you can carry a multitude of weapons. I guarantee you, the new Doom that's coming out now, you will only be able to carry 2 weapons. I guarantee you. And that's another mechanic that's changed from old school gamers to now. How do you feel about only being able to carry 1 gun?
It makes
1 or 2 guns. Sorry.
1 or 2 guns, that's the only way it should be done. It forces you to not only want to pick up the gun, but see if you can work with it. And it gives you a small window of time to see, hey, is this the gun I really want to run around with for the rest of the game? Or is this one of these guns that I can see there's going to be possibilities or potential for this gun later on into the game? So, and once again, like we all said, if I have a rocket launcher on my back, if I have an RPG on my back, if I have 4 different pistols around my waist, if I have a SMG in one hand, I got a large LMG in my other hand, and I got, I don't know, like
how many pockets do you have? Like
rolling up and down my chest. How am I going to be able to A, run, B, reload them, C, whip them out at the right time, and D, not be blown up by them?
You know, there's one game that comes to mind, Uncharted. Uncharted does an excellent job of forcing you to think about which gun you're going to pick up and which gun you're going to keep with you for the long haul and which one you're going to swap out. I think I came across a couple of helicopters where, and it's nice, the level design was set up to where, you know, if you didn't have a grenade launcher or some type of heavy explosive, they placed one somewhere around the area. But Uncharted, you have to think about it. You either have to carry, you know, a pistol or a shotgun, and it's some type of automatic. I mean, that's kind of how I feel like how people kind of judge is like, all right, I got a close-up gun, and then I got a far-away gun, or I got an automatic, and then I got a heavy gun. You know, you got to kind of keep a balance. And so Uncharted does an excellent job of that. I think I've tried to stay with either a pistol and a shotgun, and then a assault rifle of some type. Like, yeah.
Because unfortunately, and I'll try to hold back my thoughts about Uncharted, because one thing I hated about Uncharted was when you started walking and you found a big area, when you saw a whole bunch of cover, you're like, guess what? Gun. Let's be serious about that.
What did?
There's no other cover, and all of a sudden you get to this big wide open area and you see a whole bunch of cover areas. You're like, wow, here we go, firefight.
But then the same could be said for Tomb Raider. To Tomb Raider, you do the platforming sections. You're climbing with your pickaxe. You're going up mountains and stuff. All of a sudden, you come to this open area city, and there's bridges and stuff, and you can see. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. To me, that's more so level design. I mean, and then that's a whole different topic as far as level design, because I think a lot of people have problems with Watch Dogs because of the level design and because it didn't look exactly like Chicago. And I keep telling people, you got to take gameplay and level design into consideration. Like, it can't look 100% like real life, because then it's like there's no cover. This area is not fun to shoot people in, so they have to switch it up.
Yeah, so, I mean, on that idea, yeah. But the one thing I also wish they think about when they start making more first-person shooters like Uncharted is make sure that every person doesn't have the same gun. Because that's one way that they kept you with, you're able to reload. For example, you did say Uncharted, that you always kept a pistol. But that's because you're guaranteed that every person that you take out will have a pistol. Will have a pistol. And not only that, not only just a pistol, they will specifically have your pistol. And that's and so you can always reload. And that's one thing I didn't like about Uncharted. Overall, I still gave Uncharted like a 9 out of 10 because, God, I love the story. That was just a great story, and it always kept you on the edge of your seat. But yeah, going forward with first-person shooters, make sure everybody has a different gun, because if you have the one guy with an RPG, he should have probably an RPG and like maybe a Desert Eagle, because he's a crazy one, or the one who's trying to like really take something out. And then you have the guys, you got the one guy and you got the one guy who sits around doing patrol with like assault rifle, and that's all he should have. But everybody's gonna have a different gun. It's not like they just have like just hold crates of these things, just walking around like, yeah, got it.
Quickly, we're running out of time, Dolo Riser. Let's talk about story. How important is story in a first-person shooter?
Well, gee, if you don't want to just seem like
on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10. You need a story. Because if you don't have a story, guess what? You're just walking around. You just bought a $60 game to walk straight and shoot.
So are you saying you hated Titanfall? That's how you feel?
Here, let me get real close to the
Well,
camera.
hold on. We'll give you. We'll go ahead. That's all you.
Get real close. I hated Titanfall. It was a $60 expansion to, I don't know, Armored Core for all I care. It didn't make sense. Let me get this straight. The multiplayer is the single player. That's what it is. Because you couldn't play the single player unless you were online playing with other people against other people.
And don't let it be a rainstorm, and it knock out the internet or something.
And
power outage. Well, then again, power outage, you wouldn't be able to play. But so 10, you think it's very important. I know some people who buy first-person shooters jump right into the multiplayer, don't even bother with the campaign. Me, on the other hand, I have to play the campaign so I can get a feel for the guns. So the story is kind of important to me. If it's lackluster, like Gears of War, I'll still get through it because of the gameplay, you know? So I'd probably say, if the gameplay is good, 7. That's how important the story is to me. I was upset as well with Titanfall that it didn't have a real campaign or a real story. So
yeah, I mean, it was honestly, it was just really annoying that when you're trying to wait to get into another game, it was just like 60 seconds of people talking. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I was just gonna chalk up the lobby time to them making sure that my lobby is lag free with the right type of people, you know, as far as skill wise in there. So I know it was a little long, but it was like a bathroom break. Like you got a bathroom break every match. Like how can you hate that? I don't know. That's just me.
Let me get this straight. So any other game I could play, and I can jump into a game like.
But you're talking about multiplayer. But how often do you get to pause a multiplayer game and go run and use the bathroom, or go grab something to drink, or grab something to eat?
Well, you should be good enough in the first place that in the middle of the game you can go use the bathroom, come back, wipe out a good 5-kill streak, and just keep going, just trucking them out.
Well, on that note, that is all the time we have for today. Double O Riser is going to get out of here. Double O Riser, one last quick question. What is your favorite first-person shooter of all time?
Borderlands, done.
All time? Get him out of here, people.
All time? Oh, dear God.
That is our show for today. Like I said, this is a different format, so if you guys like it, if you guys hate it, please let us know. We can't see the chat room right now. We will have another brother on our next episode who will be monitoring the chat, chatting with you as we're doing this live. This video will re-air on Wednesday, and we will also have a live discussion with Fox as he plays a game. So, the game that we're going to be playing on Wednesday is Beyond Two Souls. Somebody asked me to play Beyond Two Souls. I never got a chance to do that. So we're going to play Beyond Two Souls live Wednesday and talk about first-person shooters. So you guys are always welcome to join us. Go to the website, Twitter, 4BNAB, Facebook fan page as well. That's our show for today. And remember, there's a gamer in all of us. Oh, wait. Bring back Double O Riser. Hey, Double O Riser. There's a gamer in all of us. You just need the right game.
C4!
And then you let that play one time, and then we'll end it one time. You know I gotta let me dance again.
Dancing! You're going to change that video so quickly when you were listening. Somehow you're just happy about it.